watching Rogers TV.
Welcome to this edition of Dufferin Life. I'm your host, Teena Avery. Thank you so much for joining us today. So we've got an exciting event happening coming up here in Orangeville, and I have a special guest that's joining us via Zoom, Bonnie Thompson. She's a psychic medium. She's going to tell us about this event. Bonnie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me, dear. This lovely event that we have coming up is actually going to be at the Best Western, September 20th, 21st, and 22nd. It runs Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We've been coming to Orangeville for many years. I can remember back in the day, we were actually at the curling club with a really small group, and now we've grown into about 30 readers and healers. And we are located now, we show up twice a year at the Best Western. Our show runs Fridays from 2 to 9, Saturday 11 to 9, and Sundays from 11 to 5.
Amazing. So let's talk a little bit about what we can expect from the show. What if we've never been to a psychic fair? What is it? What would we see? What would we do?
Okay, so when you show up, there's always like an admission table. You pay an admission fee. Kids to 12 and under are free, and we always have a draw. So which you can, there's a bar code at the door which you scan, and you always have a draw for a spa. We always give a spa package in each city that we visit. Upon entering, you'll see many types of readers, healers, energy workers. We have several vendors that come from all over the place. We've got Tibetan bowls, crystals, jewelry. We have electric palm reading. We have aura cameras. There's just so many, and there's so many different people like myself that do different types of readings and healings.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about it. So if I've never been, I mean, I have been to different sites over the years. I've been to a few here and there. I'll be honest, I'm a bit of a skeptic. I'm as I get older, I kind of veer a little bit more towards being less of a skeptic. So for me, what for someone like me or someone who's even more skeptical than I am, why should they come to the show?
A lot of people are more open than what they used to back in the days whenever I was growing up. I always said I was kind of a little different because I hear and see things and stuff like that. But most people are coming for guidance. They're coming for guidance in their life, whether it's career, love, relationship, or they've lost a loved one. A lot of people are actually stepping into their spirituality because they are very intuitive themselves and they don't have people that they can connect with, like-minded people. So, and you'd be surprised at the amount of people that bring their children because there's so many intuitive children and they just want to be in the group, the vibe, and just check everything out and see what resonates with them.
Absolutely. And I think for some people who haven't been, I mean, you should give it a try. Don't be a skeptic. Definitely give it a try. I mean, for some people, they may not be into the readings or things that are happening like that, but they may be, moving slowly and forward, maybe looking for, different stones, different gems, something that I don't know, gives them hope or gives them whatever they're looking for. Does that make sense?
It sure does. Yes, because there's a lot of vendors that sell all different types of, for instance, we've had yoga mats, we've had singing bowls, we've had the sound wave bowls, and we have incense because everybody, is into incense as well. There's all different vendors of all different stuff. So you may not come for a reading, but there's a wide variety of, like you said, crystals and stuff like that for healing, as well as like feng shui in your office and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, and there can be jewelry that's involved. I have bracelets that I think everyone can see here, and I usually open on. And for a long time, I didn't have them. And I went to a show. And then what I did was, you get drawn to certain ones and you don't even realize you're doing it. It might be the color of them. It might be the type of stone it is. And then when you go and then you read about what that stone's about, and maybe it's something that's, you're dealing with in your life, or maybe it's not. But learning the different the different things that have, what they mean. So, I mean, I've always picked mine based on what I've been drawn to. And like I said, I've never done that before, but I love them, and I don't know, they have a special meaning to me, and I think for other people, they could learn something about it as well.
So true, because you'll pick what you're being guided to and what you need in your life at that specific moment. However,
Hmm.
it's really unique. I'll see people come to the front door, because actually at times we have like crystals on the front, like at the front as well. And someone who's actually just had a breakup is really like sad and emotional. They don't tell us till after they buy the rose quartz bracelet. And I say, oh,
Hmm.
that's for love and looking for new love. And then they're like, oh my gosh, I've just separated and now I am looking for new love. So they find it very interesting. And a lot of our readers and vendors, especially the vendors as well, they're very knowledgeable at the product that they sell.
Hmm.
And they will encourage people if someone has questions of what's good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I did the same thing. I mean, I looked at certain ones and I picked them up, and whether it's the amethyst or but it's it is very true. Like, you don't realize what you're picking up. I'm just like, oh, I like purple. Like, that's what you think you're looking at, but when you realize what's actually going on, and what that stone means and what it could mean, and I mean, and I'm assuming there's different perspectives for the stones. Like, amethyst is I believe a protective stone, and that could mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. And I think just having people come out to the show to kind of investigate on their own is a great way for them to find out some information about maybe themselves, or what's maybe they're being guided to something that they're not even aware they're being guided to.
So true.
So let's talk a little bit about the like what and I'm asking. I mean, I know you're a psychic medium, and we're going to get to that in just a little bit. And I may be asking you about things that maybe is not your forte. But I'm the bowls. I'm intrigued by the bowls and what the sound that they make and how that works. Do you know anything about those?
I'm not a professional on the bowls. Can you see me, Ann? Yeah, okay. I'm not a professional on the bowls, to be honest with you, but we do have one of our vendors. He's with us majority of our shows, and he actually brings the Tibetan bowls every time, and he will actually do the sound wave healing. For instance, my husband that was at the show there the other weekend, who's always at the door, he actually was letting him have the frequency up and down because it has a lot of healing mechanisms. The
Okay.
bowl and the vibration up and down the spine or whatever area you have going on that might be not feeling the love in your body.
Okay. I didn't realize the healing properties of the bowl. And I realize a lot of what will be at the show does touch on healing and that sort of thing. But I was really intrigued by the bowls. And I know that I've seen people try the bowls and they couldn't make the sound. And then, the vendor there just does it really quickly, and I didn't realize it was a healing process. I thought maybe it was, something more. I don't know. I don't know what I thought it was, which is why I asked the question.
Yes, it's also for meditation too, son. Oh, I was going to call
Okay.
you sunshine. Yes, you are a ray of sunshine.
Well,
It's
thank
also
you.
yeah, it's also for meditation. A lot of people use that as well, and to clear the energy as well. A lot of time before we actually start our show in the like before the clients come to the
Mhm.
event, um, everybody will cling their bowl for it to shape the energy in the room,
Mhm.
clear the energy.
Wow. Okay. Almost like a saging, like when you light sage.
Yes,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, at my booth, I always smudge and clear my space every time a client leaves.
Oh, okay.
I
So
have
let's
like the,
talk a
the
little bit about.
spray. I have the spray. Yes.
Yeah, so let's for those people who don't know, I found out just because I was involved in an event that actually did some smudging, and I had no idea what it was. So I'm assuming there could be some people watching that don't know. But so what is smudging exactly?
Okay. Smudging actually comes back into the native, and I'm actually like native is my ancestry.
Mhm.
It actually is about smudging. You can use Palo Santo. You can use white sage. You can. There's all different types of herbs that you can actually smudge and clear your room with, and it's with regards to negative energy or heavy energy. People should do that on a regular basis or monthly in their home, or if people their workspace. Sometimes you're not allowed to have those smells.
Mhm.
Also, when I've done healing work on clients, I've actually like did smudging on them as well because have went through a loss. Smudging is very pure. It's puring your aura and your energy.
Okay. Okay.
I
So
always say if you buy something, sorry for interrupting you, Tan. I
no,
always
go
say if
right.
you buy something or get something given to you that's not yours, you have to clear the energy.
Okay. I didn't realize that. I never really thought about it in that perspective. But yes, I mean, I learned about smudging. I had taken part in an event, and it was my very first event, which was a little bit more spiritual and not. And it took me a little while to kind of understand what was happening. But the smudging was a process that they did as people came in and as people left, which I think helped everybody that was participating in that event. So I appreciate you sharing that information because not everybody knows what goes on and what the purpose of it is. So why don't we just there we go, tongue tie.
We're here.
Too many things at once. Yeah, too many things at once are happening in my brain. So we're definitely talking about the event. So it is happening September 20th, 21st, and 22nd. It is at the Best Western Inn and Suites here in Orangeville. So please mark that on your calendar, and the information will come up about the show as well. And then, Bonnie, if you can tell us again the times that the show is running, and if you know anything about like what the admission fee is and that sort of thing, that would be great. So we want to make sure we get all that information to everybody.
So it'll be Friday from 2 to 9, Saturday 11 to 9, and Sunday from 11 to 5. If anyone wants to know what readers or vendors will be there in advance, they can actually go to psychicfairs.org, the website, and you'll get a list of the readers and the healers, as well as the vendors. However, I don't encourage you to double overemphasize on the vendors because you won't see the products online.
Right.
Now, admission is $10. Children 12 and under are free. And with the admission, your bracelet is good for all weekend long.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. So if you don't have a chance to go through everybody or you need to come back, you'll be able to do that for the same admission.
Absolutely. And we do have door prizes as well as winning a spa package as well.
Wonderful. So we've got about a minute left or just under. Bonnie, just tell us the different types of readers that we can expect to see at the show.
You'll have psychic readers, tarot readers, card readers, mediums. You'll have energy workers. There's just a whole variety of readers. And every time we come to Orangeville, we do have our main readers that come with us, as well as we always have new ones that come as well. We come twice a year, and we love coming to your town.
Amazing. Well, we're so excited that the show is coming. Don't you go anywhere because Bonnie and I are going to talk about her being a psychic medium when we come back. And we're clear.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details. On Rogers TV, we have a reality show like no other. It has a great cast of characters. Some you may have even helped land the role. Each episode has something different. Plans are devised, decisions are made, votes are cast, and money is spent. It's local reality TV that you won't want to miss. And it's exclusive to Rogers Cable customers. Catch your municipal council coverage on Rogers TV. Visit RogersTV.com for broadcast details.
Welcome back to Dufferin Life. If you're just tuning in, as always, you tuned in at a great time. So, in our previous segment, if you just we were talking about a psychic fair, psychic and crystal fair that's happening in Orangeville. Joining me for the second half is still Bonnie Thompson. She is a psychic medium. Bonnie, I want to talk a little bit about you now, if that's okay.
That's fine, hon.
Absolutely. So let's talk about how you got involved in all this. How, like, I'm always curious to find out, was it, I don't know how it happens to people, if it's just a feeling, and let's talk about how it got started for you.
Ever since I was a little girl, I was about 5 years old, and I remember jumping on the bed, tell my parents that they weren't going to be my parents, they weren't going to be together, and that I was leaving them. My dad said I was a very interesting child. However, my dad always seen spirit, and my mom was from the Native background. So they were supposed to be my teachers, and growing up, hearing and seeing things isn't always fun. Mm-hmm. So lo and behold, they did, years down the road, separate. But when I was 8 years old, after I lost my grandfather, then I started seeing and hearing everything. And it's not fun what we hear and see. I would start having dreams of people that had crossed over, and they were coming to give me messages, not necessarily family members, people in my town. And I used to say to my mom, why am I the messenger? What is my purpose? But my parents were very supportive, which was really nice, because some people don't have the upbringing. But I just thought it was a little different, and I was a crazy free spirit hearing and seeing things.
Well, I mean, I can definitely imagine how difficult it would be to see and hear things, especially growing up younger. And as you get older, I'm assuming that you kind of tune what's happening. And do you have a little bit? Is it just random when people come to you?
No, it's all the time.
Oh, it's all the time.
So I hear and see world events too, hon. I also smell things and I taste things as well. Those are some of the senses that I didn't have in my younger years, but as I got older, I did. A lot of times I'll get names, dates, and ages of people, or sometimes when I look at people, I'm hearing things. So I just say I'm an intuitive counselor. Okay. That's what it is, because people come with me, all walks of life, with different scenarios and situations.
So when you do a reading, I mean, do you ask a few questions first, or is it something where you just get a feeling, or you just automatically know what to go, or what they might be struggling with, or what they might want to ask you?
It depends on the person. I'll usually know where I'm being guided to go, because when people come to an event, to be honest with you, they only have a certain amount of time. So I'll say, what area of life would you like some guidance? The majority of my clients do come that have had losses and tragic losses in recent. It is very deep for me as well. But the younger generation will come for what's going on in their career and their love life and stuff like that, or if they need and want some guidance on mentoring, like spirituality and stuff like that, because some of them, like myself, I grew up at the age, especially when I was 13 and 12, and I was hearing and seeing everything. I was looking at my friends saying, your house is burning tomorrow, it's your fault, be careful, that guy's dying tomorrow. So this is how I constantly hear and see the information. So now, as I've gotten a little younger in my days, and I've been like this my whole life, I kind of like sugarcoat it and say it nicely, because you can't shock and scare everybody.
Well, ideally, no. I mean, I think if I were to sit down with someone and they were to say something like, your house is going to burn tomorrow, it's going to be your fault, I think I'd just kind of get up and walk.
She didn't listen.
But I mean, I think what happens when somebody sits in front of you and they're skeptical? Is it harder to read them?
No, I've had the odd client that will test us, to be honest with you. One client said her husband was missing. And I wrote on my paper that he had lung cancer. And she said, do you know where he is? And I said, yes. I said, he hasn't even been gone 30 days. And sure, energy just went like this. I'm like, you're lucky, because it's not McDonald's. We can't pick them out of the sky. We can't pick your loved ones or your spirits.
Right.
But then I was giving her information on his pension that she wasn't going to get, because he didn't change the will. It was left to his ex-wife. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And I do go through the emotions with my clients as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's warnings with them with regards to, if someone's driving or something, I will warn them in advance as well. That's what we have to do. And
I would imagine it's very draining for you to actually go through and feel all those emotions when you're doing
Absolutely.
so show, like when you're doing something one after the other, one after the other.
It is, and actually, a lot of times I'll feel their discomfort. I'll feel the discomfort from their loved ones, or also what they're physically going through. For instance, I was doing a virtual with my client. I said, "Oh my goodness, you have a pain in your right knee." I said, "It's giving me so much pain." He's like, "Yeah, I'm getting it replaced." Last night I was doing video with someone, and she was asking questions. I was actually on TikTok, and she said my dog had surgery, and I said yes. I said it's this side of the body. And I normally don't pick up on dogs, my own dog and that, but sometimes I'll hear the medical stuff as well. And I say, we're not able to disclose medical.
Right, right. So has there ever been anyone, I'm just curious, I'm just asking you some crazy questions, but has there anyone that has sat in front of you that you haven't been able to read?
No.
No?
People ask me where I got my training. I've never had any training. I constantly just hear and see things. But I'm actually going to be doing the National Women's Show. I've done that before. And whenever I am on audience, I like them to ask me the questions, because sometimes if we invade their privacy, they may not want said, like, of what I have to say to them. So I watch what I say. When there's a whole group setting, we have to do that. Well, it's so rewarding.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's so rewarding, the healing that people get and the messages, or if they feel that they're stuck, it is so rewarding. I actually go through the emotions with my clients as well at times, because we feel it really strong.
Do people have spirits that are attached to them? That are always there?
At times they do, hun, and times they don't. And sometimes, there's people can feel and sense their spirits around them. They can feel them touch their hair and stuff like that. But they always have like spirit guides, as well as usually their loved ones. But like they think it's McDonald's, they can call in Uncle Bob. It doesn't happen that way.
No, I can't imagine that
they
would
do that.
That'd be great, though. I mean, if you just say, I would like to talk to my mom right now, and, dial her up, and away we go. But unfortunately, as you said, it doesn't happen that way.
We will do that personally, hun. That's my gift to you. Because before I even get on, I go, oh my God, she really has to talk to her mom.
Well, it's as we're sitting here, and I'm just like, okay, so she's able to read me right now. And we're not going to talk about it here on the show, just in case.
Nope. That's like one of the other Rogers hosts one time.
Yeah.
Before I had my show, I'm like, nope. Yeah, I'll talk to you private. I know how to find you.
So you do for sure. Yeah. For sure. So if you were to have a skeptic in front of you, let's just say, I mean, or somebody who might be watching the show just going, you know what, these girls are just going on, and I don't believe it. And, maybe they don't think I believe it, or whatever's happening. What would you say to them to have them come to the show?
Come with an open mind. A lot of people will, I read pictures, to be honest with you, as well. So if there's a family member that's alive, like say their kids or their husband or whatever, and they're concerned over health issues, whatever, I actually read the photos as well. Some people do psychometry. Come with an open mind. And the funny thing is, the ones that are kind of skeptical, to be honest with you, they're really breaking down their walls, because they're actually entering. And because when you come into an event like ours, sometimes I'm a little smarty pants, and I'll say, hey, you, please stop worrying about that, or please stop this, right? They're coming because they're actually curious, not because they're as guarded.
Mm-hmm. So is it ever the case that, like, let's say, for instance, I wanted to talk to you about my love life, or something like that, and maybe you're not picking up on that particular day? Is it like, does it ever happen that maybe you can't, it's just not coming through with regards to, I don't know, my love life, my financial situation, whatever it happens to be, whatever we want to think about or talk about? Yep. Do other topics come up instead of it?
It'll come up. However, sometimes I'll be given a timeline by spirit, not necessarily your loved ones. I'll be given a timeline, and sometimes I give people dates around this certain time frame as well. Sometimes I'll ask them who this person is that they have is in their life, but yet it's an ex-boyfriend. I will hear a name for a certain reason. Mm-hmm. So that has happened. Or one of my clients came to me and she was looking for love, and I said, who's Bob? She says, I don't know who Bob is. I said, okay, well, pay attention, but don't be searching constantly like for any Bob profile. Well, doesn't she? I don't know who she was, right? Because I never remember her clients because I channeled the information. Lo and behold, 3 weeks later, she sends me a text that says, Bonnie, I'm in Tim Hortons waiting for Bob. Like, I know, I'm like, talk. And I always say, have a magical day because life is magic.
I mean, life is what it is, and you have to. I think everything as I get older too, and I look at things, whether it's spiritual or not spiritual. I look at everything as an opportunity and experience, and to try to be open minded to things that maybe I wouldn't be open or wouldn't have been open minded to
Before.
6 months ago, a year ago, 10 years ago, whatever it happens to be. But I think it's important for people, whether they're wanting to believe or not wanting to believe or not sure if they believe, just to approach life with that whole open attitude.
I find more and more people actually, if they've lose a loved one, even though they may have been skeptical, like a tragic loss or something like that, they'll come searching for answers. And sometimes they won't go just to one reader, they'll go to a couple because they can't get enough information, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can't, because if they're healing and grieving, they want more from their loved ones of what's or being guided.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're all. I'm all about creating awareness and making people aware of things, whether it's an event that's happening in town or something that might benefit them. Like it might be beneficial to them. I do shows on very serious topics. I do shows on fun topics. I do shows like this where we're talking about an event, but then I'm also talking about you personally, because I think that people find that interesting, and I think which is why I enjoy doing what I do, and I appreciate you sharing what you do with us. We've got about a minute left. Bonnie, is there anything specific you would like to tell us about the show or about you or about the whole experience in general?
If anyone is looking for guidance or they want to connect with people that are like-minded spiritual, that like to learn and get knowledge on crystals and healings and readings and meditation, especially a lot of people in this time of life, to be honest with you, more and more people are struggling mentally,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I always say it's healing. We're all on a different journey, and some people's journey might not be so magical. But we're here as leaders and teachers, and people look at us differently, but we're all the same. We're just on different spiritual levels.
Absolutely. And I think you kind of touched the nail right on the head when you're talking about that everybody's in a different place, and everybody's there, whether it's meditation because we live a stressful life, and you need to find a way to calm yourself. But
Self-care.
Bonnie, thank you so much for joining us today. We've run out of time. I wish you the best of luck for the show, and I hope I'll have a chance to see you.
Bye for now, hon.
Take care. And thank you for joining us. Until next time, bye-bye for now.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.